If you ask a woman what the perfect date would be, 9 times out of 10, she's going to tell you that it's being taken out to dinner. Now, when I use the term dinner date, I'm referring to the classic scenario where you take a woman out to a nice restaurant so that you can wine and dine her. I'm sure you know the rule book you're supposed to follow. You open the door for her when you arrive. You pull out her chair, let her sit down first, let her order whatever she wants. And when the bill comes, you say, "Don't worry, honey, I've got it." Then you pull out your credit card and cover the tab like the good little gentleman that you are. After that, what you think is going to happen is you walk her back to her door, kiss her goodnight, and then the next day you're already texting each other to plan your second date. Now, what actually happens is you leave the restaurant, she gives you a friend zone hug, calls Chad to pick her up, and when you message her an hour later saying, "I had a great time tonight," she and Chad are reading that message, giggling to each other as they lay in bed naked. Long story short, when you ask a woman out to dinner, you are basically putting a neon sign over your head that reads, "Blue Pill Beta." And when I asked women out to dinner, it was always the same exact pattern. We'd meet each other outside. I would try to give her a hug to break the touch barrier because that's what PUAs on YouTube told me to do. And when I went in for the hug, I always knew in that exact moment, she is not attracted to me. If you've ever seen a girl hug Chad, you would think that this dude just came back from the Ukrainian war. Like, she'll run up to him, she'll wrap her arms around his neck, press her entire body up against him, and she won't let go. Like during COVID, how motherfuckers were in the grocery store fighting to hold on to toilet paper. That's how bad girls want to hold on to Chad. Like my ugly ass, however, will walk up to the girl. Again, I will walk up to her. She's going to stand there perfectly still, bracing herself for contact with a sub-5 male. Then when I'm within arm's length, she'll turn her body to one side. So I have to do that thing where you give her a one-arm side hug. Yo, that is the most awkward thing ever. It's the ultimate rejection technique. If you're unsure about a girl's level of attraction towards you, spread your arms out like you're going to go in for a hug and see how she responds. If you see that turn, if you see that little pivot to the side, it's over. Plain and simple. But we'll do that side hug. We'll walk inside the restaurant and be seated. Here comes the black pill. Here it fucking comes. So, if you're blue-pilled, the purpose of a date is for you to get to know the girl and establish a connection with her. So, why is it that when you finally have a moment alone, a connection always seems to be the last thing they're interested in having? When you go on a dinner date as an unattractive man, 9 times out of 10, the girl will be on her phone. You'll ask her a question to get a dialogue going, but you'll get a one-word answer in response. Sometimes she won't even ask you a question back. She'll just sit there. You'll be telling her these crazy stories about your life to entertain her, and she'll be staring at the TV in the back of the restaurant. Eventually, you'll run out of things to say and the food will come. Then you eat in silence for 20 minutes and that's it. It's a brutal experience, man. The waiter walks over and hands the check to you. Ever notice that? They will always hand the check to the man, not put it in the middle of the table. No, they're going to come in, look you in your negative canthal tilt eyes, and place the little folder with the bill in your hands. Even in this modern society where we don't follow traditions anymore, the tradition of you paying for the meal isn't going any fucking where. So you're looking at the bill and you see that she's ordered these fancy drinks, appetizers, desserts, take-home entrees, all this extra shit, right? And as you're sweating your nuts off, thinking about how much money you just blew tonight, her exact thoughts are, okay, that's free meal number 1 for this weekend. Now I just have to wait for free meal number 2 to call me tomorrow. So as soon as you pay, she'll practically rush out the door. If you're lucky, you'll get one more side hug, but in most cases you'll get a quick wave as she runs away now that you've fulfilled your purpose and she doesn't have to be polite to you anymore. You'll text her asking, when can I see you again? And you know how she'll reply? Yep, exactly. And if the girl doesn't ghost you after the date, you're now going to be locked into the beta provider category. So, when you meet with her, these meetings are always going to be transactional. You're going to keep taking her out on dinners, you're going to help her move, you're going to give her a ride to work, you're going to pick up her groceries, you're going to do everything for her. Guess what Chad is doing? Not a goddamn thing. That's right, because while you chose to invite her to an expensive restaurant on your first outing, Chad chose to invite her into his bedroom. He didn't wine and dine her. He didn't pull her chair out. He didn't lay his jacket on a mud puddle as he was walking her home from dinner to protect her fucking, expensive shoes. So this good-looking guy has, from the beginning, set the expectation that he just wants to fuck her and she won't be able to extrapolate resources from him. I know if a normie watches this, they're going to comment, "Wow, bro, just say you hate women, bro. You're a misogynist for making this, bro." Typical blue pill shit. But I'm not talking about this because I watched Andrew Tate make a video about it and I had to repeat it to sound cool. Nah. I'm saying this because the truth literally smacked me square in the face. So, a couple years ago, I took this land whale out on a date, right? Now, at this point in time, I'm significantly taller than my old self. I had started looks maxing. I was in the gym 3 to 5 times a week. I got a haircut, which we know is the key to solving all of life's problems. And I was generally taking much better care of my appearance. I paid for Tinder Gold, which is the feature on Tinder that allows you to endlessly swipe and see who likes you on the app. Keep in mind, I took high-quality photos of myself on a DSLR camera, a high-quality camera. I had pictures on there of me doing everything. There's at least 1 or 2 pictures that show my gym progress, so I didn't look that bad. I'm masquerading as a Chad, or at least as a high-tier normie. So, like I said, on Tinder Gold, you can see who likes you and match with them directly. I have that enabled, and when I go into the menu of girls who like me, what I see is land whale, land whale, land whale, land whale, like the fucking Mortal Kombat character select screen. And I'm not attracted to any of them. Before I go any further, though, I realize that in my situation, or at least my situation at that time, because I'll tell you in another video what online dating was like for me post-pandemic, but at that time, I was getting results, technically, from looks maxing. But by results, I mean that I would spend a week swiping on over 100 profiles, then I'd get maybe 10 land whales to match with me by the end of the weekend. So I match with 10 land whales, 5 actually respond to my messages to them, and then 2 will give me the phone number. Out of those 2, 1 will actually show up to the date. So this girl happens to be the one that shows up. I don't give a fuck about being her boyfriend. I just want to have sex with her if I can. I pick her up in my car and we go to get food because of course we fucking do. So what I do, even though I know I just want to smash her, I don't have the looks to justify putting on the Chad persona and telling her that she's just going to come to my place and suck my dick. Every time I've pretended to act in that way, the girl has laughed in my face. And especially if you watch my Incels Can't Be Bad Boys video, you'll know about that. So I have to put on a blue-pilled mask when I'm talking to them. I'm typically going to act like the stereotypical nice guy until they're comfortable with me. So on the date, I'm doing all the nice guy shit. I'm respecting her. I'm telling her that she's unique and all that fake crap. So we get lunch and we go back to my car. And I'm thinking that this is my chance to pull over somewhere, maybe kiss her, and then we transition to something else, But guess what she tells me? You will not believe this. She says verbatim, "At first, I was just going to fuck you and not talk to you again, but you're so sweet that I see you as boyfriend material now. I think I'm going to make you wait." My brain exploded when I heard that. What the hell? Wait? Wait for what? This girl was morbidly obese. Her voice sounded like a Looney Tunes character. She sounded like Daffy Duck. And her mom was annoying the shit out of me when I picked her up, so I just didn't want to deal with that again. You guys ever see in movies when the boyfriend character picks the girl up from her parents' house, and the dad is like, "Don't you break her heart, son, or I'm gonna shoot you with my handgun." You know, that actually happened to me in real life once, but her mom was trying to do the same thing on me. You know, as if I actually cared about making her Brendan Fraser-looking ass daughter my girlfriend. So I'm just over this whole thing by now. I dropped her off, unmatched her, and didn't talk to her again. This is how you know it's over for the majority of men in today's generation. Stacy's will always have the power to withhold sex from guys in exchange for money, companionship, whatever. They can always put a paywall over the pussy. But now we're at the point where the balding Indian janitor's looks match is not only withholding sex from him, but guys who are at least 2 to 3 points above her. They're going to keep you blue-balled and make you pay for dinners and other expensive shit, while Chad is still doing what he has always done. The silver lining, though, is that I've seen this massive uptick in women making TikTok videos bitching about how Chad and Tyrone are taking them out on dinners and splitting the bill. I know, what a crime. Or just not paying for any of it and then sneaking out when they go to the bathroom or something. You know, even though the situation for us as sub-5s and normies is dire, I think even the normiest of normies are starting to detect the tiniest hints of the black pill. You know, when they see women complaining about how men aren't men anymore, they won't take us out on real dates, they don't want to pay for our food. You know, these guys are slowly processing the fact that they're being used. Now, men are always going to be stupid, but at least most of us now know that this shaming tactic, where we're not real men if we're not taking them to an expensive dinner for a date, is a load of bullshit. It's like that thing Incel TV used to say about predicting 8 o'clock at 7:30. If you're blackpilled, you will know exactly why Stacy, who ignores you at school, ignores you at work, and ignores you everywhere else in between, all of a sudden gets excited now that you're taking her to a 5-star restaurant. So don't take the bait and don't go on dinner dates.